What is up, everybody? This is RybackStun. We have returned to Marvel Heroes Test Center. I managed to get some Eternity Splinters together to be able to pick up Winter Soldier since he wasn't on the shop for G's multiple times that they said they'd put him on the shop for G's. So, yeah. Winter Soldier. Let's go right to the synergy points, since I can't think for some reason. He's got 3% range power damage, and he's got 3% melee power damage. This is actually going to be a very good synergy for people who have multiple sources of stuff. Now, with him getting 3 ranged, you'd think they'd bump Iron Man's up by 3. I honestly think that anything that's not already, like, double, like the Ms. Marvel, hers is 2 and 2. That's fine, but anything that's not already 2 and 2 of the same thing should go up to 3%. Because, you know, Iron Man doesn't always use energy attacks. Sometimes he uses physical attacks. So, and then this is completely useless for him if he goes melee. Anyway, 3 trees: Firearms, Living Weapon, Brutal Combatant. Winter Soldier is our newest, basically, super spy, very much like Black Widow, but also kind of Punisher because he kills people very, very effectively. So let's go right through all of his abilities so far. Some of these are not finished in terms of names. Like, they can't name this a Glock 19, just because it's illegal. It's copyright infringement. The names will change, but the abilities will still be the same. Anyway, basic range, physical damage, rate of fire, 2.8 per second, and it restores 2 spirit. So there you go. Your basic pistol, very healthy sound. Next, we have suppressing fire. Hold down the key to draw your rapid fire sidearm and lay out a deadly hail of bullets. Physical damage and twice per second, and ongoing spirit cost. This is the Scorpion they were talking about, which is the next weapon we have. Scorpion VZ61. Physical damage, 20 hits. Base damage up to 40% for close targets. Spirit cost is pretty high, actually. And it's got a cooldown of 6 seconds. It also has enhanced arsenal effect, high velocity rounds. The bullets will pierce through enemies. We'll get to that later. Big, healthy, ton of damage there. Next, we have 3-round burst. It's a rifle that you've got. It does physical damage per shot, rate of fire 2.8 per second, lower spirit cost. So, but it's very much like Daredevil's triple strike and Taskmaster's disembowel, and also the Legion arrow. Next, we have our first passive, which is called Relentless Pursuit. You get damage rating versus enemies not targeting you. You get crit rating, and you get crit damage rating. It is also your crowd control immunity duration buff. So, boom, with a little red star there, too. That's pretty cool. Next, we have Flashbang Getaway. It's stealth duration, and it's lowish spirit cost. Basically, your backwards stop, but it also gives you the ability to get into stealth fairly quickly. Next, we have the Barrett, M82A, which is a monstrous 50 caliber rifle designed to take down any target at any range. Physical damage 100% while stealth or invisible or within 2 seconds of breaking stealth. And if you kill somebody, you get 3 seconds of stealth duration. It also has rate of fire 1 per second, and its spirit cost is relatively high. Enhanced arsenal effect is precision shot. Power deals double damage, but has a 6-second cooldown. So, boom. And you can, if you didn't have that on, you just continue to shoot like that. Just knock out your enemies. So that is all the firearms. Next, we have living weapons. First thing is your underslung grenade launcher. Physical damage, vulnerability, attack speed is ish, and medium-ish spirit cost. It also inflicts physical damage twice per second when you have the enhanced arsenal effect. So, boom. That would be the incendiary charge when that happened. Sorry. Next, we have our 2 toggles, which one's a toggle and one's a stance. Our toggle is called Enhanced Arsenal. It enables all enhanced arsenal effects and all your powers. It gives you damage rating to your ranged weapons, damage rating for firearm powers when you hit with a brutal combatant power, and spirit cost reduction of 8% for 4 seconds when you hit with a ranged power. It also gives you endurance. For bionic combatant, when this is toggled on, it enables all your enhanced bionic powers on your powers. On your powers. It gives you damage rating to your melee powers. You get damage rating to your brutal combatant powers when you hit with a firearms power. Damage negation for 8% for 4 seconds when you hit with a melee power, and it grants you power. So if you want to use ranged weapons with dabble with a little bit of melee, you use enhanced arsenal. If you want to use melee, dabble with a little bit of range, you use bionic combatant. I'll showcase some of those a little bit later, but right now we're going to go into our next power called Double Time. It's got a spirit cost. Again, I'll be championing trying to get rid of that because, as we said in the last video, spirit costs on travel powers is bad game design. So, boom boom, he runs. Next, we have our signature power, which is the FN Mark 13, which is realistically just the magnetic grapple mine. So it does physical damage. It can be activated up to 5 times within 8 seconds, and it has a 45-second cooldown. So we're going to go ahead and plop, plop, plop. You can see it popping out, and now it is done, and everybody is taking a ton of damage. Next power we have is called Covert Ops. It's range area stealth. Stealth duration is 5 seconds, cooldown 10 seconds after stealth effect ends, and its spirit cost is relatively high. Alternate effect while activating it while in stealth is it doesn't break stealth, and it gives you a mine that you throw on the ground. The bomb timer is 5 seconds. So we'll go ahead and hit Q, and we'll just throw mines. Now this has a very heavy spirit cost, so you won't be able to do it all that often.
Body's not working like I want it to.
But unless you use some of these things to knock out your, like if you were to use Enhanced Arsenal to knock out your spirit cost reduction and gain the endurance as well. So there's that. Next we have our Brutal Combatant tree, which is going to be interesting. That's where this little extra bar comes in, called Electrical Charge. You gain Electrical Charge on hitting with melee powers, then expend the charge in a large area burst by activating Arm Surge. So our first power here is called Bionic Shoulder Check. Physical damage, it's your dash. You're going to have it, so you're always going to be able to power up your lovely Electrical Charge. Notice how it's charging up, relatively okay. But there we go. Now I have it fully powered, so I can use it later. Next, we have Knife Throw. Now, this is one of 2 powers that has 2 different effects depending on which toggle you have. Activating this power does not break stealth. It has a 1-second rate of fire to medium spirit cost. Yes. When you have an Enhanced Arsenal effect, you have a serrated edge, which means your knife deals a bleed. When you have Enhanced Bionics, your power deals double damage and travels twice as fast, and it has a 6-second cooldown. So here is just the regular power. Wah, wah, wah. Showcase the other 2 here in a bit. We've got Bionic Haymaker, which winds up, deals a crushing blow from your bionic arm that stuns enemies, physical damage. It also has attack speed of 1.9. No sound effects, but it does use the knife when you have the attack, and it also generates the electrical charge. Next, we have Dispatch. So this is your essentially your stealth execute kind of power. Physical damage 100% when stealth or invisible or within 2 seconds of breaking stealth. And if you kill somebody with it, you get a 3-second stealth duration. Attack speed is 1. When you have your bionic effect on, it deals double damage and has a 6-second cooldown. So there it is. Currently does not have an actual sound, but what are you gonna do? Next, we have Concealed Combat. First of all, it's got a passive. Your damage negated is 8%. Dodge rating is got a number there. You also get increased dodge rating and movement speed for 10 seconds when you use stealth power, and you can see enemies on the minimap. The active effect is a bubble that invises both you and allies, and your allies cannot be made invisible again for 30 seconds. It's got a cooldown of 30 seconds, and it has a spirit cost of 30. So, boom. And then activate your stealth power here to do some extra damage with the Dispatch. Next, we have Bionic Shockwave, which is your second power that has 2 different effects depending on what you've got. It does physical damage, it has a spirit cost, and it's got a cooldown of 10 seconds. The spirit cost is relatively high. When you have the Enhanced Arsenal effect, you have Rapid Reload. Instantly refreshes the cooldowns on your Scorpion and your Barrett, which is pretty cool if you're activating the Enhanced Arsenal effect. Next, with the Enhanced Bionics effect, you have critical and brutal chance increased by 10%, and enemies affected become vulnerable, taking 10% more damage for 12 seconds. So this is your melee vulnerability effect. And this does the damage in an area around him, and it's a really cool ability. So you can use that to put this on cooldown, and then use your Scorpion and your Barrett in your different abilities to continue with using damage, just refreshing your cooldown every 10 seconds with the Bionic Shockwave arm. Next, we have Bionic Surge. Deploy a feature in your new StarkTech Bionic arm, a devastating directed EMP. Now, you gain an electrical charge meter, which builds electricity each time you strike with a melee power. That's your passive. Your active is it does energy damage, which is probably going to get switched into physical damage. It costs 12 on this bar, so basically half, and it has a cooldown of 5 seconds. When you have the Enhanced Bionics effect on, your melee strikes generate twice as much electrical charge. So here is what it looks like. Boom. There's the damage there. There's your 4-second cooldown. 5-second cooldown, excuse me. Bada bing, bada boom. Now let's check out some of these powers with the Enhanced Arsenal on. Our first Enhanced Arsenal is the Scorpion. Bullets pierce, so let's go into an area where we're going to be able to pierce. I believe that was an S, yes. See those, it's hitting them both. So there's that. Next we have the Barrett, which it deals double damage and has a 6-second cooldown. Boom, there's your 6-second cooldown. Do we have any powers here? No. Our next one that we're going to be using is the knife throw. So here's your serrated edge. Boom, there's the bleed. And then we have the bionic shockwave arm, which I should probably put that on the tree with the actual part that gives you the cooldown. So let's go ahead and use both of these. And then, boom, cooldowns are back up. So that's that. Next, we're going to do the bionic combatant. It doesn't have any activated powers in this tree, but it does have activated powers in the brutal combat tree. So here we got power deals double damage, travels twice as fast, and has a 6-second cooldown. So let's back up a little bit so you can actually see. There it is. Boom. And there's our cooldown. Next we have Dispatch. Deals double damage, but has a 6-second cooldown. So lots of cooldowns in this ability. And then we have the bionic shockwave, which gives you your vulnerability. You'll notice the red on them because they have it. And then also that we're gaining powers a little bit faster than we normally would with the electrical charge. So there is that. That is Bucky / Winter Soldier. So, and look, he's got his lovely little weapon. And by the way, he can run while holding any various weapon that he has. So that's cool. That's Bucky. He looks pretty cool. A combination melee ranged character. It's going to be all physical damage, so save your physical damage artifacts. I mean, if they do stick with having the bionic surge be energy damage, it's not actually that bad. Consider the fact this is decent for both builds. More so, obviously, for the melee build. But I think I'm probably going to end up doing a mostly ranged build with some extra melee abilities because I like guns, and guns are cool. That's why Punisher is cool. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed me showcasing this as much as I did showcasing it to you. Remember, like and comment on the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and Tumblr at RybackStun. More videos as they come along. With that, this is RybackStun, signing out. I am a dummy, and I forgot to show you the coolest move in the game. That would happen to be Winter Soldier's ultimate, called Shock and Awe. It does physical damage. You take no damage while it's channeled. It has a channel duration of 12 seconds. He jumps into a Quinjet, and it just moves. It just mows stuff down. Now you gotta hold the button to be able to move it. You notice the bar on the bottom shows you how much time you've got. But look at how much damage that does. Sounds are obviously, you know, in need of a fix. But there you go. They really wanted to hit on the point that this is basically Snake in the Marvel Universe. I like that. I really do. I mean, you know, it's also the fact that he's freaking
This is what I was made to do.
voiced by David Hayter. So, you know, Solid Snake playing Solid Snake, basically. If only you could get that Punisher Omega Effect costume, then he really would be Solid Snake. Anyway, there's a cut after this, but, you know, that's the end credits thing. Sorry, forgot to show you that. Don't go away. Don't get mad at me. Love you guys. Bye.